This CES guest presents us with a blood pressure monitoring app, which uses your finger and your smartphone camera. Anytime, anywhere, very convenient, sounds very cool, and brings us some really cool health tech. The CEO of a company called Biospectal is Eliott Jones. Eliott, welcome into Tomorrow. Thanks for coming on. How are you?
Thanks, Dave. Nice to be here. Doing great.
It's a pleasure to have you. Tell me a little bit about Biospectal as a company first, and then let's get into OptiBP.
Sure. You know, we have a very interesting background. We're actually a Swiss company, but I sit in Silicon Valley. So we've blended all the experience from Silicon Valley with research that's being done in Switzerland around optical biosensing, without non-invasive biosensing through the skin. So we started a couple years ago, bootstrapped the company, developed our product, which you mentioned, the app and the phone to measure blood pressure. And we announced our public beta at CES this year, and we're getting ready to go to market.
Terrific. And it sounds a lot like if you're wearing a smartwatch, for example, and it's measuring your heartbeats and general information. It's typically similar technology, I'm guessing, for what you're doing now with the ability to do it on any of our smartphones.
Yes, exactly. Well, the way it works simply is that you put your finger on the lens of the smartphone camera, and we record blood flow beneath the skin with the camera. And yes, watches do it on your wrist, but we're able to use the camera in every phone that already exists. So it's basically the same principle, but just using some different lenses.
And I think that's terrific because, number one, a lot of folks, especially we discover the younger folks, don't wear a watch, whether it's a smartwatch or otherwise. It's like they use their phone anyway to tell the time. Might as well use their phone to determine some of these health characteristics as well. And that's,
Sure.
Of course, what makes it different.
My 15-year-old daughter is included in that group, and I can understand it, but she doesn't even want the fashion statement of the watch.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, one of the things that's really appealing to us about being just a software app as opposed to a wearable is that there is no wearable to buy or have around or put in the drawer later. So it's always in your phone. You don't have to have anything extra.
That's true, and you don't have to worry about operating systems. Is it compatible? But it's your phone. It's compatible with you already. So
anywhere in the world, already in your pocket.
And does it matter what type of phone or how old it might be? As long as it's a smartphone with a camera, you can do it.
No, absolutely. The phones that we use and test on, we work on all the current phones. In fact, we've tested back 4 or 5 years. In terms of the model. So there's really no limit to the kind of phone that you're able to use with this.
Terrific. And I'm assuming that COVID, that seems to affect everything, certainly affected me with a month in the hospital with the darn thing, among other things, having to deal with the Rona, has probably impacted what you guys are doing. Has it sped up your efforts to help people get some of these health warnings or bits of information more so than you might have done?
Yes, obviously we're running this company and we firmly believe in what we're doing. And, we believe that what we're doing is the future of medicine. But when the coronavirus hit, it basically pushed a lot of us in the remote sensing world for patient monitoring a couple years into the future. Mm-hmm. So
into tomorrow, you might say.
And the next wave is now an essential element of delivering care. So we're passionate about helping with that.
And it becomes even more essential because it sounds like it would be certainly more accessible in various parts of the world as long as they've got a smartphone.
Exactly. Even places, remote locations that don't have blood pressure devices every day, they have smartphones. So, and again, the patient care is being pushed out of the clinics and hospitals because they can't have people there. And so people can now use their phones to monitor blood pressure, which is a factor in COVID.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And I'm assuming that a lot of folks don't realize that global hypertension is an epidemic and is a problem all around the world that folks need to monitor a whole lot better, I guess, than we have been.
Yes. Hypertension is the #1 chronic condition in the world, with 1.3 billion people affected. So not everybody knows that, but we all know that high blood pressure is an issue. And the other issue is that it's called the silent killer. there are no symptoms. So you don't know when you have it. And then when you have it, it's not really apparent every day that you should be monitoring it, but you should.
Yeah. And then does the app that comes with, well, it is an app, right? That is going to be available. First of all, how soon will it be out on the market, and is there a cost involved? How much?
Sure. Well, as I mentioned, we just announced our public beta this week. We're rolling toward going to market. I can't make too many forward-looking statements about when exactly we're going to be in the market, but we have big plans for this year. And we're going to launch on Android first, and then, of course, iOS will be following that quickly.
Terrific. Well, being an Android guy, I'm glad to hear when companies first do it on Android. So that's terrific. So do keep us informed. Meantime, we invite our audience to visit your website for more details, biospectal.com, BIOSPECTAL.com. We'll get you there, too, when you visit intotomorrow.com. Eliott, thanks for joining us, especially as part of our virtual CES coverage for 2021. Keep us informed, and we'll be delighted to share that with our audience when it is available.
Great. Thank you very much.
It's our pleasure. Again, the website is biospectal.com. Visit intotomorrow.com, and you'll see Eliott and us showing you some of the things he was talking about in terms of how this device works with an app on your smartphone. Very cool. Meantime, I'm Dave Graveline. Stay tuned as we continue bringing you further into tomorrow right here on the Advanced Media Network.